Hello, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. All right, let's see what's on the newspapers over here. Gold holds near record level. Gold hovered around 38.60 per ounce on Thursday. It was staying at near its record highs, supported by expectations of Federal Reserve rate cuts. ADP report showed U.S. private sector employment declined in September, making the first nothing too interesting. Meanwhile, the Labor Department easing some uncertainties. Okay. Let's see what else. Gold looks overdue for a pullback. Oh, now that's a headline right there, boys. All right. The Supreme Court's decision to block President Trump from removing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook until January potentially eases concerns over the Fed's independence and the prospects of another dovish appointment to the board. For now, this removes two key factors that had supported gold's run towards 3,900 per ounce. Gold has pulled back to around 38.65, retreating from its fresh highs. Yeah, it does feel like, if you look at the current PA on gold, it does feel like we're getting some kind of pullbacks, like some bearish pressures coming back into the market. And there's not so much direction. Like, mind you, we just started a new month here, so, you know, you gotta be like giving the market some time as well to start moving, you know, start picking whatever direction that it wants to go. Because new month, you can see daily candlesticks, we're starting to get some wicks form over here. Maybe some potential exhaustion as well. That's what we're starting to see here on the daily. We'll be a bit cautious about that. It looks like we got a bit of a shock in the water here as well. So get your harpoons out. We got small little sharky here. So just took out the previous daily lows. So it is kind of like a volume is kind of slowing down. You know, we got the NFP this week and we got some pretty important news tomorrow. So, you know, you just gotta be a bit cautious here. Hey, good morning, good morning. I'm down 50% of the account. Just some character building. Man, crazy. You know, you're down 50%. There's a trader I know who's supposed to be like, you know, a profitable trader. I'm not going to mention any names, but this person has given back all the gains of the year. All the gains of the... Imagine waking up every single day, right? Just imagine this. Waking up every single day. Taking these trades, being disciplined. And this is something I talk about on the stream. You remember I talked about this. Some of you guys talk about this guy called Tim. I think his name is Tim or Tom or something like that. You know, he had the same experience. You know, he could go a whole year, and then towards the end of the year, I don't know what ideas people get in their heads that they give back all the profits. You know, so this has recently happened to one of these major gurus, and you know, I'm not gonna mention any names here, but man, that's not trading. The moment you're giving back all the gains of the year, that's not trading, man. That's gambling. Because you know what's gonna happen now? To make that back, you're gonna revenge trade. You're gonna do like a high risk trade so you can make it all back. That's the only way you can do it. That's the only way you're gonna think you can do it. It's not a good habit. It's not a good habit. You know, people chasing like 5 trades a day, 10 trades a day. You know, these are the habits. Like, even if you're taking, let's say, 10 trades in a year, just one bad habit like that, whatever that habit is, can really derail your performance or just derail your journey completely. So, you know, this is just a reminder out there for some of you guys like who are like, you know, still getting influenced by, you know, social media and people rushing your process. Don't let nobody rush your process. Trust me, you stay on your lane, do your thing. If it's affecting you too much, you know, just try and like realize that that's not going to help you. So don't let anybody rush your process. OMG, all their gains for the year, that would be painful. Yeah, that's real painful. You know, because like this is things I always call out, man. Like I talk about this so often, and then it always comes to fruition because I can see it. I can see it unraveling. You know, I can see the way the habits. If you show me a trader, so I say you judge traders by their losing trades, not their winning trades. I can see the habit. I can see where it's going down to. It's only one road. The market only goes down one road when you got a bad habit. So it's quite funny. Predicted quite a few of these things so far in the past year. A couple of these traders. Wait, I gotta see what's going on here. Got some notification on my phone. All right, so prices moving up right now. We're up like 0.20%. I kind of was hoping we would just reflip down bearish and then continue selling off. Market has not been the greatest since October started. You know, it's just the beginning of the month. It's the beginning of the month, so don't feel like you gotta rush anything. You see, there's a lot of choppiness here. Generally speaking, if you look at the chart work, it's quite choppy. You know, you got a bit of like back and forth, back and forth. Yesterday, I ended up taking a trade after stream. Took a loss on this, about 1.81%. This morning, I took a buy on gold, made about 1.48%. Yeah, it was pretty decent, but you know, I'm still down for the month here. I'm still down negative 0.30%, roughly, you know, so we still got work to do here. It's just the 2nd of October and we got a whole month ahead of us here. So, you know, don't feel like you got to rush anything. You know, just treat October as a fresh canvas, you know, where you can eliminate some of these bad habits. Maybe don't bring in bad habits from September into October. Try leave at least one bad habit behind. At least one bad habit, you know? You know, it's like rehabilitation. You can't like quick cold turkey, but at least do your best to leave something small behind. You know, because I know for a lot of people, man, you know, like what did Architect say here? Architect said, oh, can I find this message? Where did it go? Oh, yeah, I believe trading is hard because it goes against human nature, emotions, FOMO, revenge trading. Those things kill your P&L. Yeah, well said, Architect. You see, I don't expect anybody to quick cold turkey those bad habits, but you know, you could actively work towards removing them, just slowly, you know, taking that one less trade a day, you know, reducing that lot size by a little bit if it's too much risk, you know, it's just something small. Because you see, it happens on all traders, like professional, so-called professional traders. You know, they also experience these challenges. You know, so remaining stoic and disciplined will help you survive. Especially in trading, the most disciplined trader will have the most freedom. You know, without discipline, you have no freedom. Because the moment you break your discipline, you gotta work so much harder to get back on the level that you were before. And you know, like if you're disciplined and that momentum kicks in, it's gonna be quite addictive at that point. So you just want to keep on that wave. You know, sometimes we do these things which are like self-sabotaging because we're doing so well. Our old self doesn't want to see us win. You know, our old selves are preying on our downfall. So every now and then your old self is gonna come back into the picture and is gonna want you to do something stupid. So you know, you just gotta have a plan. I mean, that's the thing with trading. If you have a playbook, literally all you got to do is follow those rules. That's all you got to do. Don't break your rules. The rules are there to protect you. What are we looking for today? I'm looking for buys, I guess. It's probably going to be a similar day like yesterday. Remember how yesterday's London session opened up and then price started to skyrocket from that London open? So I think it might be a similar day like that. And I'm gonna wait for that to happen first. I'm gonna wait for the market to show me the direction and then get into any sort of position, because right now we don't have any direction. Like this is the market open here, Asia lows, Asia highs. You can see the market hasn't really gone anywhere. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety in the market, you know, like getting these headlines talking about pullbacks. We see the dailies kind of acting like a doji. US government shutdown didn't give us a Well, it kind of gave us a big push. It was quite a decent push, but it's not what I expected from that day, because you see, this is what I talk about all the time, is how the different sessions behave. Just because you're bullish here doesn't mean you're going to be bullish later on during the New York. So you see this? This is New York. Sometimes my pre-London trades are like counter trends because of this. This is what I also anticipate sometimes. Change of direction. See London bullish. As we're approaching this is pre-New York into New York session, changes direction. You'll tend to see, if I know some of you guys like watch the London stream and then the New York stream, you tend to see our biases can be quite different. Like we could be buying, for example, London, and they could be selling, or vice versa. Hey, good morning, Crack. Morning, Crack. Kraken, release the Kraken. So many FVG H4 to go down. Let's wait for it. A whole month. Oh, now you know the post about yesterday's discipline. Yeah, yesterday's discipline. That's true. The post yesterday. Discipline is boring until you see the results. Oh, yeah, I was not even looking at this. Let me see what happened here. We got 1%. Today made like 1%. Pretty nice. 2. Oh, look at this. 8. Oh, that's 8% for the week. Thought that was 8% in one trade. Yeah, pretty gradual gains here, like keeping the risk low. I think, yeah, price got some heavy lifting to do. We got like some multiple resistance levels here that we kind of need to break through. Got these like hourly resistance. Let's move these kill zones. Yeah, we got like hourly resistance. You see, we're about 43 minutes. But this candle here is kind of overextended. It could still keep pushing, but it's like already 100 pips, you know, and it's got a resistance right there and it's a close. At the same time, it's creating a nice little inverted head and shoulders right here. You got left shoulder, head, right shoulder, resistance here to here. Yeah, this thing looks like it wants to continue to move up bullish. I think that's what I'll be expecting from gold. From Goldie. This thing's probably gonna go up. So we might be seeing us trying to fill this range here today. So we're currently at is it like 38.74? Got about 181 pip range over there. It's like pushing up quite nice. Also, you got like this little accumulation situation here. So it's trying to break out of this consolidation, trying to distribute to the upside. Nice inverted accumulation. Got some nice little SMAs. Yeah, I think psychology, man, is so important. So important. Like every now and then, I always get reminded, like, you know, it's pretty good that people are transparent on social media as well. And it's not all fake gurus. You know, some people actually share transparency. And it's good when they do that. It's really good when they do that. Because when a big event like that happens, man, you gotta let people know, you know. You got to let people know. I think I'll start doing some videos soon. Maybe like once a month or maybe twice a month or something like that for my YouTube channel. Where it's just like, gotta be just a pure psychology video. Like just a simple video Nice, simple video to help his psychology. That's it. Like where I can show you guys, like take you out in nature, and you know, just talk about trading. I think that would be quite helpful. Because those are the type of videos I like to watch, you know. I like to watch these videos where, you know, some guy's just walking and then they're just talking psychology. It's quite nice. It's quite relaxing. People should take care on NY. Notice the unemployment claims are as tentative, so it can come out any hour in instance, TP or SL. Wait, let's see. What do we got? What do we got today? Unemployment claims 218 to 25. We're expecting higher numbers. So this is going to be bad for the dollar. Bullish for gold. So that's kind of nice to know. You know, we got something here that can maybe push price up on gold furthermore upwards. So we got to watch out for unemployment claims. And we got Governor Uda speaks. Bank of Japan governor over here. So that's another thing. But, you know, that's GJ. That's going to affect like GJ. Haven't looked at GJ in a while. Let's see. Did GJ finally break above 200? Oh, man. We're still at 200. W idea. Oh, nice. Cooking videos. Hey, cooking video, yeah? Cooking video, talk about psychology. It's kind of nice, you know. It's like one really good one you should watch if you like that. Then watch Gordon Ramsay, and he did a video with, I think it was Matthew McConaughey. Man, and that was like such a nice psychology more than cooking, you know. They were like cooking, but it was such a good psychology video. Because, you know, you can draw inspiration from anywhere. It doesn't have to be like a trading video. It can be literally anything. Yeah, we're up like 0.23%. Do you know that a master baker master bakes? Yes, I guess so. David Ottenberg style. Here we have a very rare trader, a profitable trader to be precise. Now you see him sitting there, not executing. Yeah, like this. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find that video. David Ottenberg style, huh? Like this. Here we have a rare retail trader. Wait, let me see where's this part. He's trying to figure out how to manage his risk. But every now and then he throws a wrench in the monkey works. What's that saying? Look at this. Man, this is trading with poor risk management, literally. Because you're gonna do so much work for basically no result. You know, because you can't manage your risk, can't trade. Actually, a trader's title is more to manage risk than to actually do anything else. You know, that's all that we're supposed to do. Man, monkeys are so trippy. It's like looking back in time. That's what I heard the experience is when you go watch what's this called, these silverback gorillas in Rwanda. It looks like you're looking back in time. Yeah, but let's see. Let's see if Goldie can actually start to move anywhere. Because right now it is kind of hovering quite a lot. It's at 0.13%. It's coming back down. So I think it's struggling because we got like a few key levels over here. You see these wicks? Whenever you see wicks like this, you gotta be careful. You gotta be real cautious here. Because this just means, you know, it's like if you look at what's surrounding this, you can kind of tell that the market is waiting for something, or there's like just a bunch of uncertainty here, and it also makes the lower time frames a bit more trickier to trade. Missed the first trade today. Yeah, that was crazy. Do you type? Yeah, I send them as soon as I'm in. I feel kind of honored that I have imitators though. Yeah, just be a bit careful here, guys. There's no direction. It's mixed bias. It's mixed bias right now. Bro, if rate cuts, we can see gold moving up or down. Obviously moving up because, you know, the dollar should weaken. And then price on gold should go up. But this is like weird because this is what I'm talking about. If you look at the DXY, this is an artificial hold here on the dollar because it's not moving. It's literally, we've already got on one rate cut and it's not moving. It's still holding this key level over there. So it's better not to trade now. Yeah, just it's more important to like get a feel for the market first and see what it wants to do, because you see with the London Open, it's attempted to break above here, above this resistance, but you can see it didn't do that. So you just got to be a bit cautious because yesterday when we got the direction, it was a bit more straightforward. Once price started moving up, once starts to break, this is kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for this kind of a direction over there. Hey, good morning, tall trader. Let's see. Mamba clap. Oh man. No, I don't have anything connected for Mead. For Mead, no, I don't use any bots. I don't use any bots. Remember sending your chart work, guys. You gotta put 50%, you know? You gotta put 50% of the work in. Oh, look at this guy who's advertising over here. Oh, we gotta give you the Thor hammer. Yeah, we're gonna have to give this guy the Thor hammer. Yeah, come on, guys. Send in your chart work. Ask questions. Put in some work. Come on, guys. Stop being lazy. You know, nothing was ever given to me and nothing is going to be given to you. You know, like I've gone through this journey myself. I put in so much work myself. Nothing was ever given to me. Not a single thing was ever given to me, but just a few values here and there. You know, if you don't actively put in the work yourself, then you gotta fall out of God's favor. You know, God doesn't like lazy people. He doesn't like people who just asking for handouts all the time. You gotta put some work in. You gotta have that vision. You gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta at least take the right steps in the direction that's gonna give you the results you want. Because you can't complain about results you don't have from the work you haven't put in. I am a bit more bearish now. Yeah, the daily is just flipped. Daily has just flipped over here. See, that's why I'm in. It's like, it's hesitating quite a bit. But you know, if you come onto the charts today and you can see this hesitation, then you know, I think that's really important. You always gotta trust your gut feeling. Like that gut feeling actually teaches you quite a lot in trading. I think a lot of the time we kind of ignore that gut feeling because we don't know if we're correct or wrong, really. But I would say even as a new trader, you know, you can just trust that intuition. Like if you feel like something's not right, because most of the time when something is right and your trades are coming to you, those are really the good trades. And whenever you got to think about it and really like force yourself, typically it's just not the environment that you want to be involved in anyway. But you know, it's starting to open up here a bit more. This is the range that we're trading in between. It's like about 131 pips. And you see, you got some pretty nice swings here. You got a swing down here, swing up here. So that's pretty nice. It's starting to open up. I want to buy from these range lows. Wait for a bit of a setup. Wait for some kind of a structure to be formed down here then. You want to buy these range lows. Because if you look at it, if it's ranging now, then there's a pretty good probability then if you reject these lows, then price is going to go up. And then retest 38.74. See, barcode happening on a 15-minute. Yeah, it is barcoding here. Like, trust me, guys, please don't chase the money. Like, if you chase the money, you're just not gonna get it. Like, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand this. You know, like, every day, like, people always kind of, like, giving an impression like they're always chasing the money. Like, I've never understood that. Like, how do you just chase the money? Like, no one who chases the money has ever... That's, like, a 0 probability hit rate. Or maybe, you know, you're gonna achieve what you wanted to achieve, but like you're doing it in a way that's gonna be detrimental to you later on. Like, no one actually achieves anything chasing the money. Like, trust me. Just focus on the skill, focus on getting better. Ignore the money. The money is literally a byproduct. That's all that money is. It's a byproduct of the energy and the effort that you're putting into a craft. You know, so if you change that mindset, you start looking at money from that perspective, you're gonna find out that it solves a lot of your problems. You know, it'll start solving the FOMO problem, the overtrading, and all these psychological issues that you might be having or experiencing with your trading journey. And all it requires is just like a shift of mindset from chasing to acquiring knowledge, because that's all it is. That's all that it is acquiring knowledge. Like, every day, every trade that you take, you're not really always necessarily making money or losing money, but you're paying for some kind of a knowledge, you know? So if you take a winning trade, awesome. You take a losing trade, maybe you can learn something from it, you know? And just let the wins, because, you know, when the wins start to come, they just come naturally, you know? Like, you don't know when the next cluster of losing trades is going to be and when the next cluster of winning trades is going to be. You know, that's just an effect of you just following your rules, showing up to the charts, and trying to actively get better every day. Vic, yes, I got one step closer to selling one of my real estate. We should talk about talking about 3 months about my investment. Oh, in Kenya? Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. You can definitely let me know. I can give you some advices. Some advice here and there. It's really cool. They're really good. You know, because the way real estate here is like these like affluent areas, you know, in Western worlds, maybe you're gonna pay, let's say, you know, if you're buying like these really expensive houses, you're like, you know, let's say like $4 million for a house. Man, you pay even $1 million equivalent. I mean, if you just pay $1 million, you get so much more. You know, because in Western countries, you pay $1 million, but you don't get much extras on top of that. But here, if you're buying a house for a lot of money, you know, that comes with security. You got security, you have multiple housekeepers, you have gardeners. You literally have so much more, like proper security. You know, same security that UN uses. And you know, the whole area is pretty nice. A lot of nature, and I think it just goes a much longer way, honestly. Like, it's good living. It's really good living. A lot of facilities. Like some of these real estate areas, you get a multiple, let's say for example, like football courts, multiple swimming areas. Some of them come with like restaurants, you know, clubhouses, basically areas to walk, run. What else? Obviously gyms, private schools close by, and man, there's just so much, like so much value that you get, you know, because it's more like living. It's not artificial, you know, like people who go to like places like, let's say Dubai is like really kind of, I would say, like feels are a bit more like artificial, you know, and that in another country you won't get as much value for your money. You know, you still feel like you're in this kind of like a concrete jungle kind of living, which is, you know, for me, I think closer you are to nature, man, the better it is. Where are you located? Kenya. It's one of the best countries in the world. Like if I've traveled the world, I've been to first world countries, and every time I see like, this is a country where it's like very comfortable. You know, it's very comfortable. In other words, I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot more comfortable. Man, when I'm in Europe, for example, and I'm walking down the street, I always feel like I have to look over my shoulder, you know. There's always like some kind of anxiety there. But this is nothing to say anything bad about Europe or anything like that. It's just my experience. I think that's why you tend to see a lot of these traders sometimes when they become successful, you usually see them fuck off to like Bali or you know, Thailand or one of these other kind of countries, you know, because you get a lot more, I guess, for the money that you make. Would you move to South Africa? I feel it's best of both worlds. It is, but the problem with SA, it's really badly mismanaged. Yeah, I think that's the main issue with SA. It's like y'all have so many power cuts. You guys have so many problems, like political problems, apartheid. You know, it ended not so long ago, so those wounds are still fresh. Security issues, but as far as the country itself goes, it's pretty beautiful. You know, Kenya is quite an important country. They usually say Kenya is too important to live to the Kenyans. Like, it's a very important country. It plays a quite important role. So nothing can ever happen, you know, nothing can ever happen like something detrimental, like it wouldn't be allowed to happen. It's too important. Is Kenya famous for coffee beans? Yeah, I think mainly tea. A lot of tea farms. We got most GDP also comes from tourism. So it's popular for tourism. It's popular for tea farms. Coffee. Yeah, coffee as well. 100%. Yeah, I remember when I was in Germany, I went to a coffee store and I saw these coffee bean bags and one of them said Kenya on them. But I just don't drink coffee. I'm not much of a coffee guy. So I do like the tea if anything. But I think like they say the good tea is actually exported out of the country most of the time. They get like the premium leaves mainly are being exported out of the country. But, you know, it's still pretty good. A lot of tea if you're from the UK as well. If you're from the UK. Kenya's got quite a history with the UK as well. So lots of British. How's the cost of living? It's like, much like any other third world country, you know, if you're earning in dollars, then you get paid a lot. So cost of living is cheaper. It's definitely cheaper. The service sector is what's really nice. Access to services and whatnot. It's a lot easier to do things. You know, even if I didn't want to leave the house, for example, it's like, let's say you want to send off some documents or something, you can easily do that for, let's say, if I wanted to send a document right now, I could probably do so for maybe like $3 or $4. You know, it's just these little things that just add up to making the whole experience of living a lot easier for you. You know, malls are open throughout the weekends, for example. You know, like in some countries on the weekends, you can't, for example, really go shopping. Like it closes down on the weekends. So you can't go like grocery shopping. It's kind of like sometimes restrictive. Calling a bearish momentum before and then going long. Has the SL to it. So yeah, I mean, like, right now I'm not touching gold. It needs to start moving soon. It needs to dump it. It's setting up something here for potential break to the upside. Got like 2 minutes 30 seconds for candlestick to close. Then it's going to create like a resistance. And once it forms that resistance, it may most likely start to look to retest these highs. Right over here. Once it starts breaking up like this. What's a favorite pastime for Kenyans? Drinking. You should never outdrink a Kenyan, man. Like that's their favorite pastime. It's partying, drinking. It's like a social, very social place. You know, when you get a lot of these expatriates come into the country, man, it's just like partying. You know, they get paid really nice as well because they're getting that salary from abroad, and in translated shillings. And it's just like nightlife and partying and, you know, just enjoying. That's the kind of like atmosphere you can expect. Yeah, that's a favorite pastime. Like I saw a message on Discord about EA copy as Telegram signal. Where can I find it? You just go on Google and type in Telegram signal copier. And I think there's a channel under useful information on Discord you can use to set it up. Or just look, yeah, just go look at under useful info over here. Then you can use that information to set it up. What is this? Be careful today. Yes, be careful today. Good morning, Vic. How's it going? I see gold is the same range from yesterday. Yeah, we haven't moved much from yesterday. That's true. Since ranging over here, since London closed, we haven't done anything. We've just been moving sideways. Oh, candlestick reflip. Look at this liquidity grab here. Liquidity grab, reflip, boom, boom. Now I just need that resistance to be formed. Get a candlestick close above like this. And then we're going to see a probability for price to continue moving upwards. That's going to increase the probability that price moves upwards once it creates that resistance. But you see, this is a range that this is kind of like what you get to play with right now. You know, this is what the market's given you. So you can look at this. You can theoretically just ignore this. Everything that happened over here. What you kind of want to see and look out for mainly is the swings right here. You see how like price is swinging? That's mainly what you got to look out for. To tell you that if volume is in the market, if you can take a potential trade. You see like, for example, here to here. See pretty nice range from here to here. That range got filled up beautifully. This was like about a, what is this, like 39, 40 pip range from here to here. So it just needs to create some structure, because now this was a V-shaped reversal. Here, V-shaped reversal. And now this needs to just create some structure to pull up. Like that. That's going to look a lot better, because catching something like this is a lot more difficult. Because, you know, price just like had a bullish engulfing candle and then it moved up to fill up that range. And you see from, it moves still from point A. Look at the way the market operates. From point A to point B. You know, because these levels here are going to become like a magnet from price. So see, because we got a support level and then rejected to point A. Just the same way as we move from here, point A to point B to fill up this range. And then it moved from here. This was the next range from point A to point B. You know, got a nice little shotgun entry model here too. Candlestick closed below support and then broke the previous candlestick lows with volume and then headed down. See, right to this target. So this is kind of like that repeatable cycle that you're kind of keeping an eye on when you're taking your positions to see where currently in that chain of this cycle where it is. You know, if it's in a distribution or whether it's at a point A. So you can see this is a potential point A right here that it's setting up to again come back and retest these highs. Just gotta wait a little bit longer for that structure, and then, you know, if you want to take a trade, then, you know, you can take a trade. But I think I'm gonna be still waiting personally for some kind of a direction. Looks like we might flip down. I mean, we're literally just at the daily open right now, so go wait and see. Candles give me anxiety. I prefer zip bags. Oh, zigzags. You prefer zigzags. I prefer zigzags. What does that mean? Check this out. So let me show you guys like a sneak peek of what you can expect in Kenya. Obviously this guy spent a lot of money here on his holiday, but yo, this is pretty sick. Like, this is the type of shit that you can get away with. Obviously, you know, just generic stuff as well, you know, just like camping and stuff. Like one of the best experiences to go look at wildlife. I don't know if you guys follow this gamer. Her name's SS Sniper Wolf. She was also in Kenya recently. It's pretty cool. Someone I used to watch quite a lot. Yeah, I think the safaris are definitely like a must-do thing, you know. It's quite a generic thing, but you know, it's an experience. It's really important. See what this guys here did. Sundowners. Day in the savannah. Then heading to the coast. See boat day. This is wild. I wonder how much it is actually to get one of these helicopters. I know a helicopter ride just around the city is like about I think it's like 200,000. It's about, let's say, $1,500 for like an hour. I don't know how much it is to actually rent one of these things. Are you in Kenya? Yes. I guess it's always kind of hard to show it on YouTube, you know, because very selective stuff that you're seeing there. You don't really get the full picture. Still not creating that resistance. Still needs to form a resistance here. It's kind of like doing a V-shaped reversal. It's not really setting anything up. Wait, maybe on the 1 minute it did something. Let's see. Nothing really too structured. It just came down, I see. Not really like a reversal. Not really like a consolidation breakout, but yeah, this thing's just chopping up and down. I think that's one major aspect about trading, is just understanding when not to trade. Because, you know, a lot of the time it's like we're looking at when we can take a trade, but we're never thinking about the times when we shouldn't be taking a trade. Got this buy, but very small lot size. Damn it, lost my 100k funded. Well, sir, you gotta need a whip there. Now you can go touch some grass and, you know, think about what you did. Hourly looks brutal. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, we spoke about this too. So many wicks. Kenya also has the best place to trade. You can do both London and NY session. That is very true. The only session that I guess can do, yes, the Asia session. Asia session's a bit awkward, but you can do the early, the pre-London. The pre-London is good. But most of Asia is happening in the morning hours, like early mornings. But yeah, we got the, that's true. We got the whole Shazam here. Still holding 65 BE to 70, ride or die. Because, you know, like, even when you look at the New York session is more potent because you're not going to be on the charts like the whole day, correct? Like, the New York session is more important the first 2 hours. I would say the first, maybe, let's say 1 to 3 hours. 1 to 3 hours. Just like the first 1 to 3 hours in London session. The New York session also like 1 to 3 hours. After that, it's just, you know, that's just dead volume at that point. But you kind of want to ideally get your trade setups within the first 2 hours. You know, for the pre-London time, there's also like, you know, a 3-hour window from, let's say, midnight Eastern timing. This is like a 3-hour window, but the most potent one is up until 1 hour before the London session opens. And then, you know, if it's that hourly candle before the London opens, you might as well just wait for the London open most times. Well, we've created a resistance here finally. So we got a resistance and we have about like 56 pips. This was my trade idea. Let's see. Hi, took this trade, liquidity grab, waited for bottom wick of the next 5-minute candles, third entered at the break of previous candle wick. Stop loss below here. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, there was not enough structure, but I guess if you're reading the liquidity, there was still a higher probability, which you also mentioned that there's still a higher chance that price goes up because it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of the consolidation here. So it makes sense. Reject, 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 and then come upwards. Even though there's no direction. This is the direction. It's moving sideways. Yeah, the higher time frames do look quite nasty though. So kind of hoping something happens soon. Where you see we got like a kind of like a shock over here. Notice how the hourly has just taken out the highs by 38.74. And then pull back down aggressively like this. So this is something that, you know, like what you can expect here in this condition. Also here, previous hourly taken, pull back down. So this is a time where like you really shouldn't. This is a time where most traders are going to fail and going to take these shitty trades, you know. But I think on the lower time frame, on the 5-minute, at least it looks clean. That's a funny thing. The higher time frame looks horrible, but the lower time frame actually looks pretty decent. The 5-minute over here. Just break above these SMAs. Start moving up again. Your eyes indicator makes me smile anytime. Just do gold M1, UJ, and cable M5 and you get it all. Oh wow, look at that push. About like 30 pip 1 minute candle. Sheesh. It should be heading up though. This is a retest of the bottom of the range. Come on, Goldie. See what futures is doing. Probably the same thing. Yeah. Well, futures gave a pretty nice structure there though. At the bottom, this is kind of what we would have liked to see. And it has like a nice little liquidity grab confluence there too. On futures at the bottom of the range. So you got support and you have resistance. And you get that liquidity grab below here. Liquidity grab starts to break highs, break above resistance. Really lovely range. But Goldie just kind of like, it came a bit later on. You see, it came all the way here. That was really nice structure there. See what GJ is doing. GJ's got some room to move down here. There's about like 13, 14 pips below this support to come down to retest these lows. Daily is kind of bullish though, like 0.17%, but it's not that much. It's just bullish on the daily. You know, it could easily reflip though. So I think that's where GJ is most probably trying to head down to. You're looking for my analysis on the chart. It would look like scratches on TV anytime because I don't analyze the past. I live in the future. Or drink more water, chat. Stay hydrated. Oh, drink more liquidity. I heard that there are no tigers in Africa. Yeah, I don't think there are tigers in Africa. Maybe some guys bringing tigers to South Africa. Let me see. South Africa tiger. There's no tigers in Africa, but you know what people do sometimes. They just bring the animals in. There's a liger. You ever heard of a liger? And it's the biggest cat. It's a crossbreed between a lion and a tiger. Thing is huge, but it can't survive. It can't survive out in the wild though. It's a massive cat. Oh man, look at how cute this thing is. Looks like a nice little. In Russian we call it a padushka. Padushka. It's like a pillow. It's like a padushka. How can something so cute be so dangerous? Yeah, there's this guy here who lives with these things in SA. Also in India, you know, in India they live with tigers. Like literally you can have people living in a slum somewhere and they have a tiger as a pet. I think actually if you get a baby lion, probably costs somewhere around like, I would guess like $4,000. How much is a baby lion in South Africa? 7,000 rand. How much is 7,000 rand? About 5,000. Prices for lions range around $5,000. for an adolescent lioness to a whooping 140,000 USD for rare white lion cub. Also in Dubai they do that. They buy these kind of like white rare lion cubs. Or yeah. They like to do that in Dubai as well. That's why I trade. That's the goal, getting a tiger. I already got a tiger. I got a mini tiger. I got a mini orange tiger in the house. It's a nice cat. Small little cat. I always wonder if my cat could grow larger, if it would ever attack me. It's basically a tiger. What's it called? I call it pusa, which it just means cat in Russian. Got like 14 pips. I think it's trying to come down here. Goldie's just playing with emotions as well at this point. And see, you can see these wicks really generating on the 5 minute here, taking out lows. You see taking out liquidity here as well, taking out some more lows. It's not a good sign, because you know, like whenever you have price moving like this, if you're executing on the 1 minute time frame, you obviously have a higher probability of getting stopped out of trades. See these little liquidity grabs? You can kind of see it better on the 1 minute here. But it's a beautiful consolidation, this is. I'll be looking for a buy. I would be looking for, if let's say we're trending up right now, this would be just a perfect buy idea. You know, because we have that liquidity grab confluence, stop loss right below here, clean range on the 5 minute to move up bullish. It's like perfect. A cat can outsmart a snake easily on reactions. Yes. Yeah, cats react so quick. Like you're gonna get scratched by a cat, and then you only realize after it's happened. Like those samurai movies. You know, a samurai movie, how quick they move, and then it's like nothing for some while, and then you start to see blood. Cats are really fast. My dog can jump building and survive. See, not touching this crap till it breaks the range. Protect your capital. see, how do we start September? Start September the W, but the beginning of September was also quite tricky. Quite tricky. Let's see. How is August? August is also with an L. July, June, May, April. Okay. Let's see. It's freaky October. See, JJ is still on its way down here. It's trying to break below support. It's now breaking below 198,400. This consolidation looks really nice. It's really good to break above. Some FX. This is gold on the 2 hour. You're expecting price to come down? Bank of Japan's Uchida. Japan's economy recovering despite some weakness. You know what I notice sometimes when the market is in a stalemate, like if something like this happens for a longer period of time, we tend to see something on the news pop up. Like some kind of a new development kind of pops up there. Because you see, when markets don't move, nobody really makes money. So then something is kind of like forced in the mainstream news. Some kind of a decision or some kind of a change is being forced just to like stimulate the economy a bit more. It's where the rich get rich. But I think for right now, we're just kind of waiting on this US government shutdown thing and seeing if we actually get the non-farm payrolls on Friday. Which is actually tomorrow, yeah. But they say we might not get the non-farm payrolls this week. How do you calculate percentage of your P&L? I use a gross profit. Okay, kick the long. I am out but listening. Okay, nice. Yeah, I think trading here is gonna be quite tricky. It's down. It's actually daily is still a doji. It's plus 0.02%. The 1 hour closure above 38.72. 0.98 looks like money. Was that 38.72? Oh, it closes above like this resistance. Yeah, if we close above that resistance, for sure, I think gold is gonna start moving. Like this is kind of what I was hoping to see on stream. Is like if candles can start breaking above this resistance, yeah, then gold should start moving. But you know, we got a support here as well. So if you break below support, there is technically a range below here too. Like 56 pips. See any news? Gold hovers near a record on rate cut bets. US government shutdown. Gold prices inch lower but remain near record highs, supported by expectations that Federal Reserve will cut rates further this year and broader political uncertainty after the shutdown of the US federal government. with an estimated 750,000 federal employees expected to be furloughed during this time. Labor figures are likely to deteriorate further, which could intensify expectations for 225 basis point rate cuts from the Fed in October and December. Wow. Man, why is gold not moving? Two more 25 basis point cuts from the Fed, October and December. Man, we should just keep moving up right now. We should just be skyrocketing. Upside risks to Goldman Sachs 2026 gold price forecast has intensified further, owing to two reasons. Three members of the GS Commodities research team says in a note. One is speculative positioning, the source of volatility around the fair value anchored by slower moving ETFs and central banks, the members say. The other is large upside surprise to Western ETF holdings in September beyond what our model based on falling US interest rate predicts. GS, Goldman Sachs forecasts gold at $4,000 an ounce for mid-2026 and $4,300 an ounce for December 2026. That's crazy. They're forecasting 4K for mid-2026. I'm focusing like 4K by the end of the year. Why mid-2026? You know, it's kind of like... you know, sometimes when I read those things, I just don't understand why something like Goldman Sachs would say such a thing like that, you know? Is because, you know, at the same time, if we're expecting 2 basis point cuts, mind you, look at just the size of this quarterly candlestick, right? Look at how quarterly candle can move. Yet the next quarterly candle open up here in 1 day, 13 hours. Man, 4,000 is within reach, man. Like, this is no need to wait till mid of 2026 for $4,000 per troy ounce. It's literally right here. We're at 38.67 right now, you know, that's crazy. But maybe I also get the feeling that they don't want to actually tell you, you know, they don't really want to give you analysis because they're not in the business of just giving free information like that. Gold is likely to break above $4,000 resistance level. If profit taking occurs, futures could find support near the 20-day simple moving average. Lull, it will be 4K next week. Yeah, 4K is literally around the corner. Let's see how they remove this. They don't want us buying stuff now. Yeah, that's true. They don't want it like prices being inflated. It should be heading up to 4K. Especially if we get those rate cuts, those 25 BPs, then that's light work. Man, trading's so nice. Trading is so stress-free when you have control over your emotions and you're disciplined. Hey, good morning status video. When you know you don't have to blow an account to make money. When you know you can take a loss, you know, and you can prove to yourself you can survive. That's when trading becomes enjoyable. Especially when you know you don't have to blow an account to make money. I know why people feel like they need to blow accounts. Man, on the 5-minute, it looks so good to go long. Yeah, I got 1 minute here for a 5-minute candle to close. closing above 38.68. See, you know, the difference between this candle and why this did not move up even though it closed above resistance is because this candle here, it didn't break the previous highs. So it reduces the probability that price continues to move upwards. Right, you see, this time we're coming up here. Got about 35 seconds. Candlestick to close above resistance. Close above resistance, break the previous highs, and then keep moving up. Sometimes I blow a whole account just to feel something. Am I in already? No. I have a question. Can I clip your contents? Do you copyright me if I post them? No, no worries. You don't clip. We also have a clipping channel on WAP that you can upload some videos and then you can get paid for it. Make clips, get paid. Yeah, this is the clipping channel over here. Let me find. Oh, nice. We got 1,400 members. Awesome. Yeah, I see price is still rejected. It's still rejected 38.68. Could the news you just read be causing hesitation to the upside? Gold acting weird 1,000%. Yeah, the news that I read is creating it's not as a direct news as when you're reading from a Forex Factory, right? Because there's no time limit, there's no timer on it. You see, oh wow, this actually says tentative. So what tentative means here is basically there's no time that's been set for this event. Because of the US government shutdown, it seems like even we might not be getting unemployment claims today. See, all this is tentative. Look at this. Non-farm payrolls tentative for tomorrow as well. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. We don't really have that type of situation happen all too often. I actually can't remember the last time we had such a situation like this. They say the last time the US state government shutdown was in 2013. So now when you look at price and you see the way it's behaving here, you know, it's not unusual to see such a thing like this. You know, a bit of hesitation. But it would have been nice to see it continue skyrocketing up. I think you just got a bunch of risk off the market because, like, you know, smart money and the people who have actual capital to move the market would take risk off in a scenario like this when things are a bit uncertain. Gold is heading up, hopefully. It's got some room to head up if it wants to head up. Man, I'm down 1K on XFAs. How would you handle it? What's that XFA? I'm not a funded trader, so I don't know this lingo. I think what I'll do is what I'll do if you're 1K down, look at that from a percentage perspective, you know? How much percent is that? Is that like 1%, 2%, 10%? That's a funded account on Top Step. Yeah, look at it from a percentage perspective. So you know, it's like it's not that bad. If the percentage not so high. But you know, you shouldn't be doing a funded challenge if you haven't proven to yourself that you are somewhat consistent, you know? Like if you could go at least like 2 months, that's already a good sign that, you know, you can try like a funded challenge. But if you haven't even been consistent for 2 months, what's the point of doing the funded challenge? You know, I think the idea is like maybe it can help with your discipline, right? You feel like maybe funded program can hold you a bit more accountable, makes you follow some kind of a rules, but you're just paying more for a lesson. You can already start to build that discipline for less than, you know, the money you spend on funded challenges. But I think I understand what the psychology here is. It's also like more interesting, isn't it? It's more interesting to at least learn like that whilst you're doing something that could potentially give you a nice payout. So I do understand that perspective. Just as long as you consciously you know what you're doing, that's the important thing, man. If you don't know what you're doing and you're just unprofitable trying these challenges, then, you know, I think that's a bad thing. You're gonna waste a lot of money there. Yeah, funded helps you with discipline. Makes it because it's a larger amount you're trading, so you feel like you can be more patient. Maybe you feel like it feels more real, right? Because you can get like a good payout as opposed to trading like let's say $500 account. You just gotta be a bit careful. You know, you don't want to discourage yourself too much if things didn't work out, because you know, when you do that challenge, you should already be confident in your system. I like doing it for the certificates. Seems like a flex, I don't know. I only buy challenges for my profits I made on a real account. Man, awesome, exactly. But I lost 3 challenges now, so I'll stick to my small account and try to flip it. Yeah, you gotta run up like whatever account size that you're trading, run that up, withdraw the money, and then apply for the funding challenge. At least you've shown to yourself that you can make some kind of a withdrawal, some kind of consistency. UJ touches 146.90 level for the second time. Do I update the WAP campaign budget? Yeah, I need to update it soon. Rookie numbers, 3 challenges, rookie numbers. I blew 24 yesterday. Was it 25th? Oh, late. So you got a candlestick close above resistance, but still no break of the previous highs again. Like, still reduces probabilities a bit more. Just trying to do like a small little break and retest. Man, if you've been patient so far here today and you're being patient with discipline, you know, hats off to you. Hats off to you if that's something you're actively trying to get better at. Because there's a difference between being patient, just holding yourself back, and being patient with discipline. Being patient with discipline, basically, you know what the trick is? The trick to the whole thing is just to not have FOMO. Just already eliminate FOMO from your mindset, and this idea that you can miss moves. If you eliminate that from your mindset, everything else kind of flows a lot easier. Because like for me, like as we're waiting for trade setup here, I don't mind if candlesticks just skyrocket up like this. You know, that's not going to affect me. It shouldn't affect you too. We've already shown you this week that you can really miss a move. Even if price moves, you can still catch the move later. Yeah, gold stop for me. No trades taken today. Let's go. I think it's like you're just waiting, right? You're just waiting for the market to come to you. Never chase it. This is what it wants you to do. It wants you to lose your patience and lose your nerve. That's why some of y'all, you have these funded challenges. You're performing so good on your funded challenge. And then all of a sudden, you're getting no setups. Getting no setups, and you're just kind of getting pressed, and you just want to trade. You know, you want to pass that thing already. You want to get it over with. You want to trade. And it's usually that trade that you take next that makes you lose a funded account. That's why you're going to start your funding challenges with winning trades, or with like very nice disciplined trades. And then as time goes by, you kind of get tired of waiting for those opportunities. And the thing about funded challenges is when you're planning on passing them, you have to be extra picky with your trades. You have to be extra picky with the market conditions. You need these type of directional market conditions. That's what you need. You know, like the way I trade a funding challenge is also kind of different from how I would trade a live account. I would just leave runners to pass a challenge. I would just wait for it to push, stop loss to break even, let that thing run to pass me that phase. You know, because that's kind of what you're aiming for. But the worst thing you can do is, let's say you take a sell here and then you close it too early, and then you have to again look for another trade. And because you look back at it and you're like, damn, if I just held that trade, I could have passed my challenge. You know, worst case scenario, you get like a break even. But you're looking for these type of days like this where it's like quite directional and you can read the market a lot better as price is moving in a certain way. Because the market's going to move, chat. Like, once it picks a direction, it's going to go in that direction. You know, so you don't have to worry. Like, just let the market do all the heavy lifting for you. You know, if it wants to go in that direction, it's going to go in that direction. Just leave your stop loss to break even. It's going there. But you just have to be catching the, you know, now you just have to be executing with consistency. It's looking tempting now to get in. Yeah, because it's finally moving. It's filling up this range towards 38.74. What you said about the candlestick push is very similar for me. I've been playing poker for income for the last 10 years. And I understand just what you said because it's the same. Doing the right play but lose because bad luck don't affect you. Yes. Yeah, you can learn a lot from poker. Bloomberg actually did an interview with a professional, I think it was Bloomberg. They did an interview with professional poker players, and they were talking about the similarities between poker and trading, because one of these players ended up actually opening his own hedge fund. Yeah, I think this is what it's called. This is the documentary here. It's called The Gambler's Edge on Wall Street. So it interviews this man and a woman, and they're relating trading to poker, Bloomberg Originals. So you see, it's also about variables. See, like when I explain to you guys like confluence, I'm also explaining like imagine if you're playing blackjack, for example, right? And you're reading that true count over there. So every time you're getting a setup form, you know, because each moment in the market is unique, right? It's just as unique as when you're playing poker and you get a card, or you're playing blackjack and you get a new card on the table. It affects this thing here. It's like a true count. It affects the probability of the trade, because a lot of the time people ask me like, why don't you sell stops, buy stops? I can't do that. I can only take my trade when I'm in the trade. I can only let you know when I'm in the trade you know, because of that situation. Like anything can happen shortly before you execute. But this is a pretty nice documentary that you can watch. It's like 24 minutes long. And literally everything could affect, like even just the smallest of thing, like seeing something like this happen can shift the whole game and give you like a very good insight onto what you're gonna do next. Whether maybe you're gonna add risk, you know, because risk is dynamic as well. Maybe you wanted to take this break here at a 1% risk, but since you saw something like this happen, you're like, okay, well, you know, that's quite interesting. I'm gonna put now 0.5%. Now you risk 0.5% on that move, because you've now gotten something that's like additional confluence for you, something like very obvious. You know, sometimes you have these very obvious moves, and you guys know it too. It's like when market just moves and grabs orders like really quickly, you're like, damn, this is, you know, this is for sure going in this direction next. There's a way that it does it in real time that you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, wow, this is definitely heading up. And I know you guys have experienced that too, where you're just waiting, you can see your setup, and then you get that extra little cherry on top, you know, whatever that might be. Maybe this could be like even a sell. Let's say if you're looking for a sell over here for some reason, and then you see like a candlestick close above like that and starts ripping down heavy, for example. You know, that's showing you that it's trapped the buyers in here, and now it's looking to come down to fill this range to the downside. And I know you all have experienced that before. Getting that extra sauce before you take a position, that extra thing that happens that makes you feel a lot more confident about the trade. It's trying to build some more orders here so we can try break out. We just need to break out from this area here. Daily is only up 0.17%. But yeah, it's filled. Basically, it's filled up the range. That was a range that, as we mentioned in the beginning of the stream, this would be the sandbox. And it's all about like, how can you catch a trade from the bottom to the top? Because this was, remember we first spoke about the point A that we thought was going to form here, but the candlesticks kept reflipping. So it ended up forming a little bit higher up here. So it's still the point A coming up towards the point B. But you see on the futures chart, oh, nice. We also got GJ. GJ has moved from its point A to its point B here too. So it's finally sold off down towards support. Beautifully cleaned this range here on the left hand side. You see this? Because you know these candles are looking left. They're looking left at the buddies over here and saying like what buddies did before. You can see this massive bullish candlestick here creating this clean range. No bottom wick though. No bottom wick. This thing just ripped up. Ripped up like a, what says, like 22 pips. So you know it's gonna look left, like you're crossing the street, and then see if there's anything like any kind of an obstacle in the way, you know. And you can see how it came down nicely. But if you want to overcomplicate your trading, what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna end up drawing these zones inside levels like this. right? And I'm sure some of us do this. We draw the zones like this or like this, and every single small reaction that you can get from the market, you kind of also scare yourself out. So let's say we create like a support right here. You could probably start assuming like it's something from here. But although the market can also make it look like it's reacting off of those levels, it creates a lot of clutter on your chart. You know, it creates a lot of like noise. So, you know, you can always have like 2 or 3 lines on your chart. Just like 2 or 3 lines. Because if it's breaking support, the market, again, remember, it has to move. It has to move somewhere. So there's no point constricting it all the time with like all this analysis you keep drawing. You know, it has to move. So if it's breaking support, then it needs to move. Now we are at another support. You see, this is not as clean anymore because look at where you're taking the sell. You know, if you take a sell here, you're taking it into a wick area. So you got massive rejection wick over here. Obviously, that also visually does not look as appealing, I know, to you as something like this does. You know, because like what I noticed, man, is like the chat actually knows. Like y'all actually know. Even if you're not profitable traders, you get a sense for the risk, you know, the type of risk that you have. You know, if you got a trade over here and you're talking about a sell here, as opposed to now if I was talking about a sell here, for example, you all know the kind of structure that this is. You know, and that's that gut feeling that I'm talking about, that you have to kind of cultivate and nurture, because it's true, you know, like whenever we see moves in the market happen, they're happening because like a lot of us are thinking almost like the same way that price is going to go, you know, if or direction that price is going to go to next. That's why you can see beautiful rejections like this from highs, come down, respect lows, and then move up again. So it's not about outsmarting the market. It's just about having a clean execution. That's straightforward. Yeah, it's a pretty good buy over here. Not sure why you took this. You know, made some money there. Oh, nice. You got SMAs on here. See how it reacts to your SMAs? Nice little consolidation breakout that is. Right here at these lows. Pretty good. See, when your SMAs started to cross over, see it's like losing momentum. So as it's starting to break up below this accumulation, you got that nice little SMA confluence as well. Very nice. Do we see some swing trading? I'm not sure, but we can expect some profit taking here at a resistance. So it's like this similar idea to what happened here, but this one was cleaner. So cleaner. Maybe stops a bit big unless you put it in range, but this is much nicer because the next candlestick broke the previous lows. Whereas this one required 2 candles to break the highs. Wait, you see this? And then this like the same thing. This is just a sell and this is a buy. And it's just the way the candlesticks print. It's just different. You got a small difference over here. And also here. Like here's like less candles. But the idea is the same. Right? The idea is the same. Candlestick sticks its head out. Candlestick sticks its head out, clean range up towards that next target, clean range up towards this next target. You got a fake out here happen as well. Happened same confluence but differently, you know. So look at this. Here you have a fake out happening in the form of a wick, a liquidity grab. Correct? Like here you have the fake out happening in a form of candlestick closing above resistance and then closing back below, like engulfing candle. But these two things are like the same. Right? It's the same. So that's why understanding fractals is really important in the market. You know, because if you look on the lower time frames, that wick is just basically candlestick bodies. like doing the same thing that you see over here. So those are two ways that you can look at that liquidity grab. But I think it's quite important to always look at a market as fractals, because you're always seeing like also in the larger picture, what are we doing? Buying at support. You got at least support confluence. What are you doing up here? Probably selling at resistance. You know, and then you look at the higher time frame. Sometimes the higher time frames also do their own type of liquidity grabs. So you might even see above here, this candles could have wicked a previous higher time frame structure to also aid in confluence for price to come down. But yeah, this is still skyrocketing up here. It is definitely at a resistance. Eventually, some levels here are meant to get broken. So we'll see if price can actually break, because we're now pushing almost 1.30% as we starting to break above that key resistance point. We're gonna get the closure above. 15 minutes just closed above. Oh yeah, remember Ricardo also plays poker. Matty, you should play Ricardo in a game of poker. I think also Ricardo played pretty high level here. Used to play poker for a living many years, 18 years ago. Bought a house and a car with the profits, but too much work and stress. Yeah, working accounting and fiscal advice. So light work, no worries, month by month. Yeah, I'd love to see you guys battle it out in the Discord here, but we only got a chess, live chess, but we don't have poker in there. Oh, actually, you could play poker in there though, in that same channel. I want to learn how to play poker. I still don't know how to play poker. I was actually thinking about it maybe like a week ago. It's like, man, I gotta learn how to play poker. Now how to play blackjack. Blackjack was my game. You know, pretty fun. Simple. Fun and simple. Hit stand, hit stand. I think there's a game the Chinese at the casino I used to play love. I think it's called Pontoon, if I'm not mistaken. Poker is about odds and reading play style. Yes, that's why I feel like it's a lot more fun, especially if you're just like, you know, chilling with a friend and maybe you're on a trip somewhere, or, you know, sitting around a table. It's a lot more dynamic, right? Than just playing blackjack. I think blackjack is more fun with friends. You can work with them. When the USA opens, gold gonna take a slight hit. Goldie's trying to break. You got 12 minutes for the hourly candlestick closure here. It's finally starting to move. It should be on the way up towards like 38.93. Yeah, there's beautiful range here, like 141 pips. You got that nice, beautiful, like little 8 SMA confluence in there too. 8 SMA candlestick holding this. I think it's a pretty high probability it's gonna close this resistance. And then what I want to do is I want to try and catch something within this range. So as price moves up, to try and catch something as it's moving up there. Just to show me some kind of a direction that some kind of orders are coming into the market to push price. Remember I said, like, sometimes if you strip trading down to the purest basic form of understanding what trading is, it's just getting the right direction of the market, right? But it's a lot harder to get the right direction of the market when the market's really dynamic like this. Correct? It's a lot easier to get on the right side of the market when it's moving, something like this. That's like the most basic way. Then it's just up to your entry confirmations if you can catch those movements consistently, right? But when it moves, it moves. See how I move right here? That's how I move down. Massive liquidity grab though. This was definitely a shock in the water. So basically the market said, screw you. You're not making any money here today, so I'm going to take you out. That's what the market, because there's no reason for it to do something like this. Look at the size of this wick. It's such a big wick, taking out all this structure, you know. There's no reason to do that. And then it starts to move in that direction. So sometimes that's a variable, the additional variable in trading that you got to consider. But this doesn't always happen though, so that's a good thing. That's a good news. But it is going to happen eventually. And it's just like a reminder as to show you why you always have to manage your risk. And even if you got higher probability setups, to keep it in a well-managed risk, maybe like 3% max. But if you're really trying to flip an account, I would say like 5% max per trade. Right? But it's just also you're accounting for these probabilities. On top of just a losing trade probability, you also have to consider a liquidity grab probability. So you see what I mean? It's like the longer you're in the market, the more you got a lot more going against you than you do in your favor. The probabilities are stacked against you. That's why you have to stick with taking, you know, 1 or 3 trades a day. Which actually even might sound like a lot to some people listening right now. But, you know, that's kind of the range. 1 or 3 trades for a day trader. I posted a pic of my last poker game. It's in games. They won't play with me anymore because they realize I learned how to read them all. Oh, nice. I'm slowly growing. I'd like to say thanks to FX Vic Mensa for explaining how he sees the market. Helps me to understand how markets better. Unfortunately, only on stream 1 time per week because of work. Oh, congratulations. Let's go. Professional funded trader here. Very well done. See if he can give you like a party emoji. Do you have any party emojis? Yeah, we can use this cat over here. Last time I played poker, my friends wouldn't play with me anymore. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's like playing Monopoly with somebody who just knows how to... You know, like Monopoly stops being fun when you can clearly see where the game is heading. WW, nice. These robots look so funny when they're like losing balance. All right, how much should we push up? 0.30. Nice. I think it's finally starting to break out. Hourly's also closing out like 6 minutes 50 seconds there for the hourly closure. So we're just waiting for probabilities to be a little bit more in our favor here for the trade when it comes our way. Don't think you're missing it. Remember, guys, FOMO doesn't exist. You only gonna make that up in your head that FOMO exists. If you ever wanted to learn poker, just message me. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Got Ricardo here. Used to play 4 to 8 tables at once. Holy. That's like trading 8 pairs. 4 to 8 pairs. Imagine all the screens you would need to have. Like all over the place. There was this one documentary about this guy who traded on Wall Street, and his room is just full of screens. This is a lot. It's quite stressful, actually. Looking at more than one pair, man, you gotta have a lot of stress, you know. Looking at more than one pair, 2 pairs, you can get away with 2 pairs, but it's quite annoying when you have a setup happening at the same time on both of them. All right, let's see. Flirting with 0.30. We're just waiting for the hourly closure here in about 5 minutes, because you know the hourly needs to close. So man, this is a pretty big hourly. So the next hour can move, because we're trying to basically catch an hourly candle. So I want to see if I can catch the next hourly candlestick that can continue to move up here like this. And you know, I'm going to take that trade. I think it's going to be a pretty good day here, and then going to go over to the next thing. The next trade. This candle has already moved like 131 pips. So we definitely need new fresh volume to come in. Yeah, you want to trade something that doesn't correlate with each other as well. True. Yeah, exactly. I'm new to your Discord, sub I0. Great to follow you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I've seen your chart work here. I've seen your barcoding. You have very nice barcoding here when you put your positions. But why not just open one position? You know, just open one position, because there's so many all in one spot. You're going to get a better fill if you just open one position. Bro wants, yeah, he wants all the entries. He's the reason why sometimes I can't get into my trades, because price moves so quick. So before I can even key in my one order, this guy's already put in like 50 orders. Price moves up like that. Leave some pips for the rest of us. You know, no need to take all the pips like this. New hourly about to open. So someone say they open multiple entry at lower volumes to pay less. They open multiple entries at lower volume to pay less. Well, they're gonna pay more in slippage. All right, 20 seconds. Candle finally is closing. We might be seeing some direction coming soon. Let's see your fundamentals. Anything new? No technical report from Wang Tao. October 3rd to 10th. There will be no daily reports from Reuters markets analyst Wang Tao from October 3rd to October 10th. Routine reports will resume on August 13th. The fourth quarter reports will be provided in the week of October 13th to 17th. Oh, Wang Tao here seems to be going on a holiday or something, you know. Gonna miss Wang Tao. Gold hovers near record on rate cut bets. Wait, when was this posted though? It was an hour ago. It's doing like small break and retest. I assume this candlestick will start. It's just creating the hourly lows to start creating hourly highs. Small break retest. Got that little 8 SMA holding the candlestick. Just need to start picking up some pace, but it's good. It's good, like we're getting a bit more direction, as you can see here. Nice. Let's see how big this candle here is. Volume is starting to come back in. Damn, that's 30 pips. Just needs to respect this level here. Now it has to respect above 38.73, so we can see the follow through. New 4-hour opened. Oh, nice. Yeah, we got on my broker. It's always like we still got one more hour here. 57 minutes. Also, the 4-hour looks good. Nice clean range. 4-hour, 1 hour, 30 minute. We still got a few speed bumps there on the 30 and 15. A lovely little break and retest. Just need to keep pushing up a bit more. What I imagine that price is going to do is it's going to push up here. And then that's going to be like pretty good. And then look for some kind of confirmation that it wants to continue moving up. You know, like some kind of a support to be created that it wants to continue pushing upwards. Because this is just the first, this is the first section of price moving up, because we just got a break of obstruction on the 1 hour and this break and retest. So this is like the first area. What I'm looking to get in is on the second area. So this is the first time now we've finally broken a key level of structure. So that's a first reaction, and then see if we can get in on a confirmation on the second reaction. I mean, it's quite interesting because usually on days like this with news, you also wouldn't be entirely surprised to see price consolidate up until the unemployment claims, correct? But since it's tentative, we might not even get it today, so we could just keep moving. It could be almost like a no news type of day. Let's see. Tuesday, Friday. All tentative. It's got a currency strength meter. Dollar weakness. Good sign. Good sign to see at least the dollar is weak across the board for gold strength. So, you know, gold should have some reasons to move up there too. Another thing that can happen is it could form a setup right here on top of where the hourly just broke and then push a volume. There are typically days like this where I come onto the chart and let's say it's like pre-London time and I see that price has moved from an area like this, but I'm still okay with taking the second one. It only starts to get a bit sketchy on the third one plus. But you know, this would be the first one right here. So I'm still willing to let that one go because it could actually set something quite decent here. But the thing is, we don't know yet if it wants to continue moving. You know, it's up to the market. Like, if it doesn't want to go anywhere, it can easily just come back here. Even though it looks nice and bullish right now, it can easily come back here and then hold on to this level. But we want to see it fully respect this zone. See this? That's that little fakey situation that it could be playing. See, it breaks above resistance like this. That's why you still gotta be a bit more patient here. You know, sometimes the market does this little trick where it comes up like this, breaks the key level, and then back into the gulag. Unique times, yes. Patience is a virtue this evening. Yes, it is, Jay. The only one that's like kind of clear was this one here, but even the entry confirmations themselves were not that good unless you took a swing entry model at the break of the highs to fill this range. If you're not waiting for the candlestick to close, but you're just getting off like a swing entry model, the stop loss here, so price can continue to shoot up towards that resistance. Alright, so we got a chart here. Let's see. It's a no trade zone. Got resistance. This is on the 5-minute. We just tapped into some kind of a resistance there. Oh yeah, if we get through that 5-minute, at least there's a little bit of room here to move, huh? It's a little bit of room, but you know, at this point, I'm just looking at the higher time frame. I just want to see the higher time frame make that move. But yeah, this is kind of like a no trade zone. Yeah, we got what, 500 people. Remember, guys, drop a like, subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Get me to 100k so I can flex on people. No, I'm kidding, guys. If you find value in the stream, you know, you gotta subscribe to the channel. If you don't find value, then you know it is what it is. But I think like if you watch the stream, your trading is only gonna get better. That's what I always say. Your trading is only gonna get better. Your patience, your discipline. That's it. We don't overtrade. We don't over risk. We have a pretty good psychology here. Even when I overtrade, and you know, we all have our moments, I manage my risk. Like, you know, last month, man, I had a scenario where I overtraded, but look at this. All managed. I took 3 trades and already lost like 2%. You know, first trade was like 0.47, second trade 0.50, third trade 1.11%. Because, you know, like I think risk comes before anything else. So there's a way you can responsibly do that, because you know a robot, at the end of the day, it's like you are gonna have a few mistakes every now and then happen, but as long as I always say your psychology is like 90% plus, you know, like I have this, for example, sleep app on my phone. Let me see if I can show you guys. I got like a sleep app on my phone. You see it says like a percentage here. Damn, this is gonna be difficult. Oh, now I gotta do the face. Yeah, it's better if I take a screenshot of this. But anyway, there's like a number over here that shows me if it's like a good percentage. You see it's like 85%. If you get 90% or 85%. You kind of have the same metric for your psychology on a month-to-month basis, even if you can't monitor it like that easily. You know, so you kind of want to keep it at 90+%. So you are going to mess up every now and then, but you know, that's just human nature. Sometimes you like to take risks, but you always got to manage your risk. So that's what it was for September. For August, I don't know if I had any of those situations for August. Maybe I had one really small one, but August, I don't think I had any. See what happened here. 14th. Yeah, some of these are just normal losses as well. You can just have usual normal clusters of losing trades is quite normal. It doesn't always mean that you're doing something bad, you know. Sometimes the market environment can be a little bit tricky. Like, what is this? Man, June looks like I was getting some humble pie over here. 3 back-to-back, 1 win, 2 back-to-back. But you know, the important thing, you stick to the system and it will naturally start to open up again. That's the whole idea, you know. Just let it naturally start to open up again. Is it okay for you that I share the Funded Brothers link over here? The only trade NY session? No. No, that's not okay. Let's see, trying to buy. It's like forming this consolidation here. It's like driving a BMW into a Mercedes garage. It's not okay. Same June as July was slow for me. Anybody watching Formula One? Apparently Lewis Hamilton is not doing so well there with the new car. Not much of a Formula One guy though. How much was your eyes indicator? $10,000. But you know, you gotta pay it in hours though. So you know, 10,000 hours. That's how much the eyes indicator is. I wish you could just buy it. It would be nice if you could just buy the eyes indicator, wouldn't it? Imagine if instead of buying subscription to services, you can just buy my experience. How awesome would that be? That would be the future, right? Like you just buy like, you know, someone experience and then you're instantly like having the results that you want to have. That's the future. But yeah, for now, until that happens, you gotta put in you gotta pay 10,000 hours to get the EYES indicator. Matrix knowledge and skill download. The way gold kind of like it's thinking about moving up and at the same time it's thinking, you know, like how about we fake these? This is basically what gold is thinking right now. It's saying, should we move up? Should we finally move up and give these lemmings here something to trade? Or should we just come back down and take the ones who are already in these positions out? That's what gold is thinking right now. It's really considering, you know, some stop losses over here. Not a bad idea. You can come down, take them out, maybe fake out some sellers first and then move up. And then it's Buddy saying, no, bro, let's just go up. Let's see. Let's see what it's going to do. Usually when it hovers around a key area like that after it breaks, that's a consolidation reversal signal. So if it starts to break below these lows, it becomes quite dangerous for anyone who is looking at buys over here. So basically, like imagine the people who are impatient, right? Just use a bit of market psychology. We've been ranging here the whole time. Finally, candlesticks are starting to break above this resistance. We finally got a candlestick close, at least on the hourly, you know, obviously like 30-minute, 15-minute. And then like getting stuck in that consolidation can sometimes like screw with you, right? Because you're just taking a trade and then you find yourself in a position like that where like consolidates. Like it's never really a good sign. So you have to be cautious. Whether that means, let's say if your stop loss was here, I don't know where it could be, but then you'd reduce it, manage your risk over here. So instead of risking, let's say hypothetically like 58 pips, you can risk like 19 pips. Because it shouldn't break these lows. The thing is, if for price to move up, it should respect these lows. Because it's doing like a break and a retest on the HTF. Fly. It's that 8 SMA on the 5. Yeah, I got nice little 8 SMA support there too. Let's fly, Goldie. The break above 38.78. Come on now. It's not an easy day for gold. There, you can slice through these levels like butter, you know? That's how gold's been moving of late. But because of this US government shutdown and the uncertainty around whether we're going to get the numbers later on in the New York session time, I think it's causing quite a bit of anxiety here in the market. So I'm waiting to see the buyers. I'm waiting to see buying confidence come back in. And the first point we're going to see that is from this region over here. So this is a point A. Basically, all of this is a point A. What you're going to see above this is just going to be distribution. Distribution and potentially some continuation signals above this area now. But this is the bus stop. The first bus stop. Oh, Ricardo, you got it? You took a buy here. Sheesh, man. Look at the size of that stop. Very nice. Man, this is looking so good. There's a bear OB there. Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, like, the more you know about trading, the more there's gonna be always something like in the way of your trade. So there's a reason why the market moves away. Like, you can draw any line and then have like a strategy around it, and you know, maybe it has like some sort of reaction, a probability. Like order blocks, they have a probability of reactions, correct? So yeah, I think that's just what it is. Maybe you get a certain probability of a reaction, but you know, you got to stick with what you know. If you trade OBs, that means if there's something over here restricting price to go up, then you shouldn't take a buy. Because now, you know, other people also have different strategy. It's like different probability, right? Because the OB doesn't always work as well, right? This OB, sometimes price just goes through it. So that's where I come in. Time for another game of Clash Royale. People actually play that game. I thought it was just like internet advertising thing, you know? Like just a game that's always been advertised. I don't even think those celebrities who promote those games actually play those games. Or those YouTubers who promote that game. I think they just pay really well. That's what I always thought. Quick meal prep. Thank you for the sub. Maybe I can go to your channel and see what kind of meals that I can prep. Let's see what you have over here. Oh. Quick meal prep. Yeah, I can't find it. Clash Royale is probably the most played game on mobile. I bet. I see so many advertisements for that game. Not being greedy here. Sniper exit, TFX concept. Oh, nice. Right to resistance. Right to resistance. It's true. You don't know if price is gonna break this resistance. Only if you leave like a runner. Let's say, I don't know, you close like 80%. Let's red to run. Then you can see on the hourly, you have so much room there on the hourly to keep running up. But you don't know. You don't know if it's going to break that resistance at this point. So there's no point being greedy, you see. Perfect exit. Now price came all the way back down. Bro, I'm starting to believe that your live is being held behind by some kind of algorithm. You can't have 500 people every day from Monday to Friday. At least sometimes more you get. Yeah, probably. When I first started streaming, I had like I think we started having like quite a lot, like maybe 800. Sometimes they 1,000. Man, it was a crazy day. It peaked to like 2,000. I was like, holy. And we took like a buy on gold. It took a buy and it was like a profitable trade. I'm like, surely these guys are coming back. We just had a profitable trade. Then the next day, it didn't hit 1,000. It just went back to like, you know, 700, 700. So it's like, it's quite interesting. You know, the algorithm is like, when it wants, it gives. You know, and what, like literally, if the algorithm wanted to right now, this numbers here could shoot up to like 2K like in an instant. Because that's what happened that day. It looked so fake. It looked like I was view botting the amount of numbers that were going up there. Like literally in seconds, you'd get hundreds of people join in. So it's true, it is algorithm. What can you do? I can't do anything against that, really. That's why, you know, like nobody who ever does these things, like they do it for the money. Like I don't do YouTube for the money. You know, if I did it for the money, then it's like quite discouraging and you never go far when you do it for the money. It's just the same thing as trading. You always have to start on a good foundation, a good mental foundation. Because when I started learning how to trade, I wanted obviously money. Obviously, that's what we all want. But you have to approach it in a way that you're kind of protecting your psychology, so you're in it for the long run. You know, and you can only do that when you seek value. When you seek to provide some value, gain some good knowledge, that's the only way you can really move forward. And anything that you do. So it's like I had my dream board. I had all these things I wanted to achieve at the back of my head. You know, but I knew in the front, there's discipline and there's some real grind that needs to come. The boring work that needs to come in. And then all that other stuff is just you keep your, what do you call it? Your eye on the ball, basically. That's what that is. So keep your eye on the ball. You know, put the lot sizes on your dream board that you want to be trading one day. Maybe the car you want to drive, whatever. And just goals that you can achieve within this year. Like every year, have goals that you can actually achieve within the year to kind of motivate you. Maybe you're going to have on the dream board 1 week, one profitable week. You know, one profitable week is what I want to achieve. Because you only got about 3 months left, right? You got 3 months and the year is almost over. You don't have a dream board or something or some goals that you want to give yourself. Start with like some small goals. Say you're going to do 1 week profitable. You're going to try 1 week profitable doing like, let's say 1 or 2 trades a day. You know, and then you can have a better chance at getting that out. And that's going to feel good, you know, that's going to feel like progress. Then you can put like another goal over here. Maybe you're going to say you lose on average, let's say 10% a month, right? Let's say you want to get a month where you're going to lose like 5%. It's still progress, right? Because the only thing you can control at this point, if you're already having negative months, is your losses. You can only make your losses less. But if you're already losing, you can't win more. It's harder for you to win more, but it's easier for you to lose less. So, you know, you got to work with what you got. Then just slowly scale up like that. But yeah, to be honest, this is looking really nice for a break. This is looking really good for a break. So I do anticipate this is going to be a very nice break. This is going to be a beautiful break. But it's still not going to be trending, you know. It's just only going to be like 0.30 something %. Look at the 30-minute. Oh, 30-minute. Yeah, you see you got 1 minute. It's still a low volume because if you notice... Oh, okay. So this is the first 30 to close above resistance. But this 30 was not able to break the previous 30-minute highs yet. So usually that's not really a good sign. It's the same thing like what happened over here on the 5-minute. You see as price was breaking above here. So if you take this off a swing entry model, which is just a break of the wick, then it could have played out. But if you're taking off a shotgun entry, you need the second candle to break the previous highs. Because this just showed low volume. Yes, we closed above resistance, but the fact that this candle didn't break those highs shows like a low volume. Because you're going to have other days like this where it's like perfect close and then perfect break and then volume comes in. The perfect close, low volume. Not a good sign. It's the same way like on the 30-minute. You know, you got candlestick close here. It still has resistance, but you know, if you just take that same explanation, you see candlestick close here, didn't break the highs. And you can see it on the freaking lower time frame, it's consolidating. So there's a bunch of indecision that's currently happening in the market right now. So this thing could easily just reflip and roll back into the gulag down here. Because you can sense it's struggling, but you know what it's doing right now? It's building orders so it can try and keep moving up bullish. That's the reason for why it's doing this. It's trying to see if we can get enough orders that we can actually distribute the orders to the upside and then make this move happen on the hourly time frame. But if it can't, then it starts coming down and breaking these lows, then you know it is what it is. You see, the market has its like own little language that it speaks. When it consolidates, when it trends, it's kind of like, you know, giving you some feedback. It's trying to respect the 3-minute FVG. Yeah, you see, the thing is, I don't look at that because it's quite refined when you say 3-minute FVG or order block. There's nothing here that I'm telling you that's is like, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. You know, when you talk about FVGs, it's kind of refined, but when I say consolidate, we can all see and understand what that means. It's just moving sideways. So whenever I approach the market, I try and approach it with that sort of mentality of being as objective as possible. You know, because you can explain this to anybody who doesn't even trade FVGs, because I have no idea what a 3-minute FVG or any sort of FVG here looks like. But I'm sure even you understand what a consolidation looks like, even though you trade the FVG, correct? And that's kind of like mental approach I take to my trading. It's just like organic price action, something that I can pick some random guy off the street who trades, doesn't matter what he trades, but I can tell him price consolidates and he's going to understand that. And he's going to say, yeah, actually, you know, you are right. You're right. Like the London session was kind of choppy today, sir. You know, pick him off the street and be like, talk about trading. Be like, hey, how's your London open? You trade gold? Yeah, I trade gold. Kind of rangy today, right? Yeah, it was kind of rangy. Yeah, it's kind of rangy. And it started breaking out like towards, you know, like pre-New York time. It's about to be pre-NY time. You know, but if you pick a random guy and say, hey, you see that FVG there in the London session on gold? If he doesn't trade FVGs, he's not going to know shit what you're saying. But you see this? This now becomes a no trade zone. Look at this. Oh no, not the gulag. I was talking about those bounces of that candle at that minute. Gold is also overbought, so these could be institutions loading up sells. That's exactly the kind of thing that could happen. Yeah, we got a news article here that came out as well that said something about Goldie needing pullbacks. But for me personally, I still think like with 25 basis point cuts, like do institutions really want to sell off all their gold? Maybe they're just going to do like profit taking, like some partials. Like that's what we've been seeing of late as well. You see these massive moves to the downside, these retracements. But I don't think they're just going to let it all go because fundamentally it makes sense that it moves up. You know, but I get it. Like every moment the market's unique, you know. Now we have the US government shutdown thing to consider. And also with jobs data being postponed, that could also make people a bit on edge, even though we have these rate cuts on the horizon and the overall geopolitical tensions. These definitely could make people a bit on edge. And that will result in risk off. And not the clean moves that we've been used to seeing. Maybe a lot more sells, a lot more selling pressure, as you can see here. As you see here from yesterday as well. But not entirely letting go of the idea that price can continue to create all-time highs. Which I think we could today. Let's see, from this wick to that high. Yeah, we definitely could create an all-time high today by 3,900. Psychological mark over there. See, we already come pretty close to 3,900 looking at the daily. So might as well just go and tap it properly. I think futures might have hit it already. Let's see. Futures came up to, oh yeah, way above 39.23. I wonder if I get a liquidity sweep before we get a breakout. You could get the first breakout, or you could get the second breakout. I'm okay with the second one. But this is going to be the first one. Be right back, guys. Holy man, still not moved. Yeah, so I think this is like what they say when they say trading is majority of its psychology. This is it. Like majority of it is just waiting. It's like empty spaces. That's what you could think about it like that. When they say trading is majority psychology, think about it like in terms of like empty spaces. Times where you just do nothing. You just watch the chart, read the candles, try and understand like the psychology behind like why they're moving like that. What's changed in the economy that could make the price move like this. Because you can always tie two and two together. Like when you look at the candlesticks and you look at the news, you can always tie two and two together. That psychology between these two. I'm patiently waiting for the sweep for an entry. I generally like the 5-minute chart, but knowing how gold has been sweeping since a few days, I'm hesitant to buy before the sweep. It would be nice to get a sweep, that's true. Like get a little sweep, little liquidity grab and stuff before it moves up. It could happen anywhere from even the 1 minute, you know? Depends on how your entry is forming, like where you want your entry to be. I think if it's like at the break of these highs, you could even get a sweep of sorts happening on the 1 and 5 minute, as you said, and then it starts to move up. So it doesn't necessarily have to come, because you know sometimes like people think the sweeps have to come at a specific place, like somewhere like this. So if you go on the 5-minute time frame, you could probably think like you want to see a sweep down here first and then move up like that. It doesn't necessarily have to come there. A sweep could even be like somewhere within the range like this and then starts to move up. That's like basically the same example of the trade, the sell that we took this week. You remember the sweep happened not at the top of the range, it happened within the range here. So I thought it could sweep up like this. That would be ideally what I want to see, but there was a sweep that happened like a bit sooner. So you gotta pay attention, because sometimes you're gonna wait for that sweep, you're gonna miss the trade because you're still waiting on a sweep. You know, but then you're gonna realize that the sweep's already happening. So, you know, just something you could watch out for next time if you look out for those sweeps. See if there's like anything that usually happens a bit sooner before the move. It's trying to get its legs up here. That's what gold is trying to do. Those wicks below. It's trying to attack. It's like a snake coiling up, ready to spring up. It's trying to attack. You see, it just broke a key level. It had a exuberant move up here. You know, for price to continue moving up, it's got to take a break. You know, it's got to drink some water and then continue to move up. Damn, out of water. Yeah, then it's got to take a break. Then it's going to try and move up again. So the first move up here was like was just like a push. This one is the one to solidify the idea that the hourly can fill this range. That's what this one is up here. So this one's a little bit more important. See, this is just reading naked charts. You know, the way I trade, I read naked charts like price action. Why is it not breaking the highs of 3,900 since days? Well, I kind of already explained that. You seen that one guy share the analysis of the months in the market after a rate cut since 1983? No, I haven't seen it. But probably means that gold moves up, correct? Like, if it's been sharing that data from that far back. Oh, okay. So we got a spammer in here. I knew it. Damn, let me get you. Let me get this guy. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, come again. Or don't come again. Thor hammer. Yeah, we try to get rid of these guys. Also in the Discord. Sometimes they post these things on Discord. We just get rid of them. Got liquidated. It's a lot faster for me to do that than it is for him to open a new account. My friend Tony have a birthday. Can you wish something for trade for him? Hey, happy birthday, Tony. I hope you're not going to be over trading, and I wish you all the best in your journey, sir. And I'm sure you're going to be profitable very, very soon, as long as stick to good habits, remain disciplined, consistent, journal your trades, and just keep working hard, man. Like nothing can stand your way, man. So yeah, happy birthday, Tony. Let's get this. Wish us luck here. Wish Goldie luck. That gold can break above. Oh, look at this. It's moving. Let's see, Tony. Let's see. Wish us luck here. Gold needs to break above. And then continue to skyrocket. Come on. This is the first break that we need to see. This is why I'm avoiding the first break, chat. This is the reason. I need to see a commitment from this level over here. I need to see a commitment that price wants to continue to move up bullish. So I don't want to be in a situation of a pullback like this. Where did that peak from here? It's about like 13 pips, but still. It's not good. Come on, but Goldie's trying. You see how the variables always shift, chat? Like, there's always a difference in energy, right? You can feel the difference in energy from price consolidating and the difference to how it now starts to move when it starts to break some wicks. Right? You can see this. You can feel this. You can see that that's typically when the wheel's probabilities start to spin. That's when we should be seeing that distribution. But nothing here. It's quite an important thing to understand this. You see, because if the market doesn't want to go just yet, it kind of uses that against people. You see, like, that's why we're being kind of cautious here. It breaks and then it comes back in because it knows like these are high probability areas. So you can play with psychology for a bit. Please say to my friend happy birthday, a kid, to support. He support you so much. I feel like it's always a kid's birthday. Well, what is this? That name, it's always this guy's birthday. How many birthdays does he have in a year? Come on now, stop playing with me. That previous little candle break gave me hope. Yeah, me too. But it's trying, chat. It's trying. Just low volume. Yeah, gold is trying. I've never used Discord. It just seems too so chaotic. I don't know where to start with. A lot of things start off like that. They feel like confusing, but just start. Just start and it gets easier when you start doing it. There we go. It's trying to break out. It's struggling a bit. Ooh. Nasty volume. It's like a car engine that doesn't sound so good when you're starting it up. Like an old car or something, you know? It's trying to find its little spark over there. Yeah, this is a very anxiety-driven price action. So it's not moving with clarity yet. That's why we need to see it break and respect these levels and then just keep distributing. It's not a... You know, the thing about this is when you know it moves like this and you take a trade and then you get what you get, you kind of start to sit in that position and say to yourself, like, why did I take the position? You know, why did I take the trade? In situations like that, you can just do exactly what I'm doing here today, is be okay with missing the move, the first move, to see if you really get any clarity that price wants to continue in that direction. So if there's any lesson you're going to take away from the stream today, I think it will be that. Just to be okay with missing moves until you get your confidence. As in the 5 already formed support. Yeah, we got some few supports here. Got a bit of liquidity grabs by the highs too. Few whips up there. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream. You know, in this scenario, I'm just going to take a small little break over here because, you know, don't want to be a slave to the market as well, because you could find yourself sitting here for the next few hours because price might just continue to range until New York session. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go and head out here, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you for London Open tomorrow. Adios.